Here's something most B2B leaders miss. You don't need to spend hours cold calling to land six-figure deals. That's right, today I'm showing you a different path that's working right now. After helping multitude of different leaders generate over millions in pipeline through strategic content with a splash of outbound, I've discovered a system that brings qualified buyers to you. My name's Morgan Ingram. I'm a 4-time LinkedIn top sales voice who's helped B2B tech companies transform their LinkedIn strategies into revenue-generating engines. And I have developed this framework that consistently delivers measurable pipeline results. And I'm working with sales teams all the time from 1 million to 100 million in revenue. And this is the one critical mistake they're making, which is they're creating content on LinkedIn without a system and without an approach. So it's not leading to sales conversations. So today we're going to break down the critical elements that transform LinkedIn into a pipeline generating machine instead of a time waster. So first thing we're going to talk about is their strategic content matrix. The first mistake I see sales teams make is posting random content without a strategic framework. We've all seen it where marketing comes in and they're like, hey, you should post our product update. Here's exactly what you should say. All the sales reps post the same thing. Now it isn't valuable. Nobody really cares and you just wasted your time. So random posting equals random results. And if you want a predictable pipeline, you need a very strategic approach. So I've developed what I've called the revenue content matrix. It is a strategic framework that ensures every piece of content you create serves a purpose in your sales process. So within that, this is what we call the 3-2-1 framework. So before we dive into the content types, I have to talk about this 3-2-1 because it's going to keep your content focused and effective. So the 3 revenue core topics. Instead of posting everything, we only focus on 3 things in our lane. So for me, for example, I focus on LinkedIn, B2B lead generation, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and B2B content. So I stay in my lane to build authority. Then there's 2 types of posts. And it typically falls into this category when you're doing B2B, which is educational content that solves real problems and story-based content that basically is going through your journey and showing through those results. Then the one is one clear call to action every single post. It's to drive towards one thing, right? We're not saying, hey, check out this, go to my YouTube, here's my newsletter, book a call. It's like, yo, that's way too much information. So you just want one thing on your post. I've done thousands of posts. I'm telling you, this is the way to go. This is what you want to do. And our goal here is not to collect likes, it's to generate pipeline, and this 3-2-1 is how you do it. So within that, now we're gonna break down the 3 content types that you can now use to build trust, establish authority, and get your pipeline going. So content type number 1 is conversion stories. Conversion stories, very powerful, because they do what cold outreach can't do, and they demonstrate transformation in a way that prospects can see themselves in. So here's the exact structure of what you do. You start with a certain challenge that your client faced, you highlight the insight or approach that changed the game, and you showcase the measurable results achieved through that, and you end with an application point for your audience. This aligns perfectly with what I said earlier, the story-based post type in our 3-2-1. And the thing is that if you are a VP of sales watching this, then share the stories of what you have gone through as a leader, but also how you're working with clients and how you're addressing those challenges, right? But also if you're a rep, you could do the same thing and talk about what your experience with customers you are working with as you're in the sales process, but also you can share your own learnings as well. So this is really good to just say, hey, I was like, for example, I was in this position with LinkedIn, I was getting 2% response rate. Then I turned it around, I added some frameworks, it ended up being 18% response rate. And my sales nav usage was at 10%. Now I'm at 50 because I implemented these workflows and things of that nature. So just showing what you were failing at or someone was not doing well at, and then we turn that around into a positive. So content type number 2 is insight framework. So this is critical because this is how you become more of a third authority by providing real value, not just fluff, right? So here's a structure that converts. You identify a common industry belief or approach, you present your contrarian perspective with reasoning, and you provide a structured framework for a better overall approach. And then you include an implementation guidance on that. So this is a powerful form of the educational post I just talked about from our 3-2-1. And the way you want to think about this is I did a post around LinkedIn connection requests. I always get into a scuffle with people. Not like an actual physical scuffle, but like people get a little bit fired up when I mention this because everybody wants to send a personalized connection request. LinkedIn themselves says you should send a personalized connection request. But I'm here to tell you, that's incorrect. If you watch my other videos, I say this a lot. The blank connection request leads to higher acceptance rates. If we have a higher acceptance rate, that leads to a higher meeting conversion rate. If we have a higher meeting conversion rate, that means that we will generate more quality pipeline. And if we have more quality pipeline, we're going to close more deals. I think that's what everybody wants, right? More deals. So that's a contrarian viewpoint though. But I have, again, the data to back it up. I have a perspective on exactly what you should do, and I have a system that you can implement. And I have that call to action in my posts. And that's what you want to think about. Now, we got the 2 things down. This is where most strategies fall apart though, because people just stick to these 2 content types and they miss the 3rd one that actually closes the loop with your buyers. So pay attention to this one. This is the solution validators. So your 3rd content type addresses a critical stage in your buyer's journey, which is they need validation that this actually can work. So I'm going to help you do this, and this is how you help people visualize your solution validators. You're going to identify a certain implementation or challenge people face at the end of the sales cycle. You're going to share a counterintuitive approach to solving it through a deep example, through a client example, you can. And then you're going to include a clear next step on what they should do. So an example of that would be go getting a customer quote or a deeper testimonial than the story base. So for example, if they were like, I'm in the cybersecurity space and I've been struggling with LinkedIn and LinkedIn Sales Nav. Our industry rate is 3%. We're at 1%. And our usage rate is like 2%. And we're doing very bad. So now what I'm going to do is, this is a very targeted post where I'm just talking about how I help someone in the cybersecurity space go understand LinkedIn and get more results. That will lead to more overall revenue, because now people are like, okay, like he's gone really deeper there. That's validated, it can work on my space. You know, more people reach out to you outbound on that. So those are the 3 content types in the revenue rate matrix, or the revenue content matrix. And the key is using them strategically throughout your sales process and your content. Again, the random posting is not going to be key here. By guiding this and going in this direction, this is how you do it. So let's look at exactly how you deploy these different content types with the right timing to maximize pipeline generation. So part 2 here is we're going to talk about the posting system. Now, the thing is, when it comes to posting, I can tell you ideal times I think is the best to post, but this is where you just have to realize where does your audience engage, and you have to A/B test. This is where most sales teams fail. This is where most marketing teams fail, is they create really good content, but the distribution and deploying it is inconsistent based on the strategic times you should post. So what I've seen personally is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. local time leads to more engagement, and then 4 to 5:30 p.m. local time leads to more engagement. I've identified hundreds and thousands of posts, and that's just what I've seen through everything that I've coached people on and things of that nature. You also, again, should think about what you're doing with decision makers across the board, right? And what I mean what you're doing with them is like, when are they engaging? When are they coming online? Right? Data overall shows that B2B decision makers in different like software or things of that nature are looking at things typically probably early in the morning, because as they start their day, they're not in meetings. So you have to think about the executive in mind, is they're probably more engaged early that morning. And then also what I've seen from LinkedIn is that Tuesday through Thursday is the most engaged days across the board. So these are just optimal windows that you can play with in A/B tests. But again, like I said, A/B test within your region to see if this is different or not. But your posting schedule should be built around what I just said in these patterns. And then once you figure out what the patterns are, just continuously double down on those patterns. And now let's talk about how you should post. I recommend for B2B sales teams this exact framework I do. Tuesday morning, share a conversion story. Why? Because decision makers start their week strategically focused, so they're probably receptive to some narrative that you have to share with them on some type of outcome. So then this is why I go Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, is I'd share an insight framework. Why? Because most people at this point are in the middle of the week, they've already strategized, and now they're figuring out how to solve. So now if you come in with something to solve on that Wednesday, then that can help them. And it's like prime time for people to look at that. And I've also seen from my own content on Wednesday, if I post an insight framework or something educational, it actually ends up getting more engagement and more people, which is what we want. Then Thursday is the solution validator. Okay, so why? So as the week progresses, people are implementing and things of that nature. They want to know who in the market is going to be validated. So decision makers are always evaluating options and they need validation. So if we have that towards the later end of the week when they've already had their internal meetings and their conversations, we can now be top of mind. So we got the content down, but the most important thing about content is the hook. That first line of your post is so important. I like dream about hooks. Instead of sheep jumping around, it's hooks flying around. All right, so for each of your posts, you can follow this hook formula. So there's the pattern up. You start with something unexpected, a certain result, which is like a concrete outcome, a promise of value. So you tell them like what they're going to learn across the board. So I'll give you an example. Most sales teams ignore this LinkedIn feature is a really good hook there. Or you could say, last week, I generated 5 meetings from this one LinkedIn feature. Or last week, I generated 8 VPs of sales meetings by doing this one thing. So you kind of see what I'm doing. I'm getting more and more granular as it goes on, but over time, you'll see which hooks work for you based on being consistent. And speaking of being consistent, most sales teams at the end of the day don't realize that the algorithm rewards you for being consistent. Now, if you just post once a week, and let's say you took 4 weeks off, that's 48 posts you have for the year. That's more than other people would have. And according to the research by HubSpot, posting 5 times a week yields optimal results. But you don't have to do 5 times. I think 3 times is like the best, but I'm just giving you the data. But also the data says is that LinkedIn people only post 1 to 3%. Only 1% of people on LinkedIn post. There's a billion users. So if you're posting, you're gonna be out there somehow, especially if you're new. You're gonna get an advantage. So I would start with 3, or I would start with 1, get up to 3, 5 if you can. But the data shows that consistent posting with a strategic schedule to the right people will increase your visibility. And when you start to do that, right, it's key because 55% of people are going to come to your profile and they're going to check out if they want to work with you. And you got to make sure it's on point. So the consistency creates what I like to call the amplification effect. And each post will get more and more visibility over time. And then that's when the magic starts happening, when you combine the right content types with the right timing, with the right messaging. Random posting can get you random engagement, but strategic posting gets you the right engagement from the right decision makers at the right time. And so that's what we want to do. Now, this is where you have to start thinking, Morgan, this is a lot. I can't create 50 posts a quarter. Like, Morgan, I can't do that. That's why we focus on repurposing. Every post that you have that was really good, you can always remix it. Think about rap, right? When a really hot song comes out, guess what they do? Remix, right? Like, I remember, oh my gosh, what was that one song? It was, In My White Tee. It had like 20 remixes. Like, in my pink tee, in my black tee, in my orange tee. I was like, bro, like, how many tees y'all got? But the thing is, like, that's what happened. So I'm gonna show you how this works. So basically you have one cornerstone piece of content and it goes really well. So then you wanna extract 3 to 5 points from that to then repurpose 1 point as a post. So now you just got 5 posts out of 1 post. So I'll give a more granular example. So I posted, here are 5 ways on how you can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And people were like, oh, this is great. And so from there, I just take the 5 things I talked about and get deeper into one of those 5 things. And then I can continuously create content from there. So you see how this can get fun over time. And you can also, the benefit you all have is that you can leverage your sales team. So if 20 people post something, let's say 3 out of 10, it goes really well. 3 out of 20 goes really well. Now let's go see what they talked about, and then I'm gonna write about that. So you can use your team as a leverage point too. This is how I execute this strategy, right? Create cornerstone posts around your 3 revenue content topics, and then you continuously can create tactical and valuable posts from there. You can even send it to your marketing team to create it as an asset if they want to. But that's how ultimately you are going to get the success here. Because that one piece of content that you took the time in to create it can lead to 5 or 10 other things that you didn't even know about, because it all drew from the original framework that you did. So now you know how to create content and be effective and put yourself out there. We're now gonna move to the third part of this and the most crucial part of it, which is the conversation piece. This is gonna be relatively straightforward. Make sure when you are creating content that you actually reach out to people. It won't come together if you don't do this, and it will just fall apart. So you wanna create content that obviously is generating engagement, but you wanna proactively reach out to people as well. As you're building your content out there, we have to build pipeline with some outbound conversations. So 3 simple ones I tell people. 1 is the people that like your post, literally just say, thanks for liking my post. What did you get out of it? That's super simple. 2 is you can say, thanks for liking my post. It was around LinkedIn. Like, how are you currently addressing LinkedIn obstacles right now? So that's 1. And then the third one is, hey, thanks for liking my post on LinkedIn. I'm curious, based on what I posted, what are you doing differently than what I posted here? So that's kind of a little bit of difference there. I kind of open it up for them to go and do their thing right across the board. So you now have an entire breakdown on how you can take B2B content and drive leads with your B2B sales team and also as leaders. And if you want to learn more about this, feel free to connect with me directly and DM me. This is what we're implementing for teams in our LinkedIn Revenue Engine program. We're taking LinkedIn pipeline generation, LinkedIn content, sales nav. We're bringing it all together to generate more high quality leads for you and ultimately your team. And so as we wrap this up, take this information and go execute with it so you can go see the results ultimately that you're looking for. And as I always say, y'all, Morgan Ingram, stop scrolling, start selling, and I'll see you all in the next one.